Se a imprensa encobriu a história, será que os pacientes têm realmente informação suficiente para tomarem a decisão ética de irem à China fazer um transplante de órgãos?
As always in ethical questions, we heard few and different ideas and voices. People who were transplanted in China came and said our life was saved due to the fact that in China people can harvest organs without all the ethical limitations that they have in Israel or in other countries in the West.
You can fly to a place like Shanghai, check into the #1 People's Hospital, and they take your blood type and your tissue type. They find there's a match for you in, say, camp number 75, and you're told you're getting the liver from a convicted criminal who was going to be executed anyway, so you're desperate about your liver and you want to believe the person was going to die anyway, and you fly back to San Diego with your new liver, and somebody has died so that you could have the new liver.
When I've asked my patients who was about to go to China, does he know what the source of organs, the heart that he's going to get there, does he know what the source is? And he said that he didn't bother to ask. All that he knows that he wanted to save his life. Similarly, several other patients who at that time went to China, who were asked by me and by other physicians here, what's their reaction? I mean, to the fact that they're going to be saved by executed prisoners or other people whose hearts they're going to get. They told they couldn't face this reality, and they simply decided to push all these thoughts aside.
I cannot condemn the patients who are facing the choice to die or have their transplant. They would not have gone to China if there was no solution for their problem in China.
Unfortunately, in medicine, as in many other things, unethical transplant practice is often bad medicine. They often go together. In fact, in the hospital now, I just came from the hospital now, we have a patient who's very sick, very ill, coming back from a country where she'd received a traffic transplant. And of course, it became very complicated. So there are consequences.
Because there are actually in the United States, I mean, prisoners who want to donate, and they're not allowed to amongst the prisoners sentenced to death. So they're not allowed to because it's, you know, it's considered unethical to take organs from prisoners sentenced to death.
There are other problems associated with Chinese transplantation. It's not just the use of executed prisoners, how those kidneys, how those organs, livers, kidneys, hearts are then allocated to people. Are they given to the Chinese in need or to rich people coming from abroad who buy organs, and the poor Chinese can't afford them because they're not allocated in a manner that is transparent and accountable. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this, the Chinese government itself has said it, there is a corrupt money chain that's associated with the organs that are taken from these executed prisoners. Corruptive money chain that is hard to stop once you've started it.
There's a tendency to think of any new medical development as a benefit to humanity. That's certainly the intent of its developers, but medical research, no matter how far advanced, comes face to face with the same old capacity for good and evil.
Jana Bin Li foi uma universitária comum até 1999, mas desde então tem vivido pesadelo por ser seguidora do Falun Gong na China.
People could not imagine how evil inside. It's a kind of place like hell on earth. And the first we have to they search our body and take out all our clothes. And then I was taken to an isolated room. And I remember 2 police women there waiting for me. They ordered me to write a guarantee not practicing Falun Gong anymore, and I refused. And they asked why, and I said because I know it's the truth of the universe. The principle of truthfulness, compassion, and forbearance. There's nothing wrong with it. But they said, okay, then you squat down, and each holding my arm, and each holding one electric baton this length, and they start shocking me. And they said, you still refuse to write? I said, no, I will not write. And they started shocking me together. And they shocked me by using the electric batons, and started from my back, my neck, my arm. And several times I was beaten down, and they pulled me up again and shocked me again. And on the same night, I couldn't lie down. I had to crawl, this way on the bed because I was scorched all over. I could smell the scorched hair and scorched skin. I was scorched all over. It was like barbecue, like kind of barbecue. When we were inside, we were not allowed to see their faces. I couldn't remember, I don't know who persecuted me, who tortured me, who scorched my back. Some practitioners were tortured to death. But in the midnight, far into the night, some practitioners were released. At that time, I thought that they were released. But no, until one day I heard about the organ harvesting of Falun Gong practitioners. I knew that they were not released at all. Maybe some of them were killed and were murdered, and the organs were removed. The Chinese Communist Party is just like a ghost, and sometimes they look evil, sometimes they can change their faces like an angel and they smile at you, but actually their goal is the same. They just want to brainwash you. We were not allowed to sleep. We were deprived of sleep, and they deprived our dignity, and they insulted us again and again, and until one day you cannot bear and feel that you are nothing. They talked to me and said, "You said you are believing in truthfulness, compassion, forbearance, but do you think that you are compassionate to us? We had to monitor you, and we had to accompany you all day and all night. Do you think you are compassionate to us?" And I think at that time I already went insane. I was not rational anymore. I even thought that I'm so bad. Because of my existence, the police women had to persecute me and torture me by using electric batons. I'm so tired. Why still what I'm doing here? What's the use of my existence? I doubted myself. The concentrated persecution happening on me lasted about 14 months before I gave up. The Chinese Communist Party, they give you only two choices. One, die physically, they torture you physically, and the other one is die spiritually. I kept talking to myself, reminding myself that the Buddha can sacrifice his life for the truth of the universe. I know my belief, I know it's the truth. I have to be determined to my belief, and for not only myself but also for this world.
'Há um país que se tornou um exemplo de como um governo, liderado pelos seus próprios cidadãos, pode resolver esta crise coletivamente, com compaixão, de forma eficaz e com sucesso.
There's a mixture of religious and social and ethnic background that makes a lot of people reluctant to donate organs after their death.
Consent rate for organ donation in Israel has been low compared to all other Western countries, being in the 40-45% compared to 70 or 80%.
We know that there are Israelis that are sent from here, financed by their medical insurance organizations, to have organ transplantation in China. I asked for this special discussion in the Knesset today to make sure that we do not participate, we do not finance people to go to China to have such an organ transplantation.
Once we've published all the results of the Chinese organ procurement from executed prisoners in Israel, and Israel's main newspaper has published it in one of the big, huge exposé. Our parliament, the Knesset, has convened, and at that time the new organ transplantation law has been discussed with the specific committee in the parliament, and we, together with my friends, made sure that one of the major clauses in the organ transplant law would be banning of any reimbursement of transplant of Israelis performed abroad in case these transplants are performed in countries where organ harvesting is done against international laws and against the Israeli law. So from the moment the Israeli new law has been accepted by the parliament, this was in March 2008, no Israeli has gone to China to accept an organ over there.
O Dr. Levi e os seus colegas conseguiram resolver a crise da escassez de órgãos ao introduzirem uma cláusula inovadora na legislação que encoraja as doações de órgãos e assegura que a atribuição de órgãos é justa. Esta cláusula define que as pessoas que se declaram oficialmente como doadoras de órgãos têm prioridade na atribuição de órgãos. Desde a implementação desta nova lei, o número de dadores continua a aumentar exponencialmente.